You have clicked on to the Wednesday evening edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. It's the Mahoning and Shenango Valley's most in-depth, deep dive into our local weather. We talk all things weather, all aspects of meteorology here in eastern Ohio, western PA, and we oftentimes take a look at the national weather scene as well in this video, especially if the weather is interesting somewhere else and that same system could impact us at a later time. I want to start out this evening with a topic that spurred a lot of discussion last evening on my Facebook page in particular, and that was some tornado statistics that I shared. Now, these are the climatological averages for a calendar year as far as number of tornadoes in the state. In Ohio, we average about 19 tornadoes per year. In the state of Pennsylvania, which typically, of course, while Pennsylvania is a bigger state, there's typically a few fewer tornadoes because of the mountainous areas in central PA kind of discouraging tornado formation a lot of times, even though they do occur in mountainous areas, just not quite as frequently. So Pennsylvania averages a few less tornadoes than Ohio, but it's not a real big margin. Now, as far as what's happened so far in 2019, it's been a busy year so far. We've had 10 confirmed tornadoes in Ohio, 14 in Pennsylvania, and of course a couple of these occurred in early January. We had those tornadoes in early January, one near the Cortland area, another one over in northern parts of Mercer County in western PA. So 10 in Ohio, 14 in Pennsylvania. Now compare this to the heart of what we call Tornado Alley. There's been one tornado so far this year in Oklahoma, 2 in Kansas, 7 in Missouri. Ohio and Pennsylvania many, many more times the number of tornadoes than these states have seen. Now the busiest areas for tornadoes so far in the calendar year 2019 has been across Dixie Alley from Mississippi to Alabama to Georgia as well. Now that being said, even though that's a pretty neat statistic, and it is significant, it's not super surprising if you put it into the context of when severe weather and tornado season typically peaks in some of those plain states. This is the map showing the greatest tornado risk in the month of April, kind of centered in the deep south, and then towards the end of the month it does start to move out into the plain states. And then as we fast forward into May, this is when prime time severe weather and tornado season is in places such as Kansas and Oklahoma, kind of what you think of when you think of quote-unquote Tornado Alley. Notice the tornado risk also starts moving farther north as we get into the middle of meteorological spring. So, some things to think about. Sure, we've had a busy year so far, and it's been a quiet year so far in the plain states, but I think they're going to make up a lot of ground out here over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, most of those tornadoes are of the weak variety and don't impact a lot of structures and people, of course. All right, on this Wednesday evening, severe weather is popping across parts of Texas. There's been a storm that's had some tornado warnings along it, north and northwest of Houston, kind of between Dallas and Houston. Dallas got pummeled with severe weather last night. That's where the severe weather risk is this evening. In the meantime, off to the north closer to home, showers are breaking out along a warm front that extends through here. And some of this activity is what's going to clip us as we go into your Thursday. All right, so new graphic this evening showing forecast trends compared to this same time yesterday when I was making my Tuesday evening forecast. Some things have occurred in the forecast. A cooler trend noted Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday as well. We've also upped the chances for rain on Friday and on Sunday, and the forecast hasn't changed much for the first half of the weekend. All right, tomorrow's rain chances kind of coming in 2 waves. I think an initial round early in the day, could be a couple of showers around at about daybreak on your Thursday, and then we'll probably get into a lull for a lot of the late morning, early afternoon, and then showers will reemerge towards the end of the afternoon into the evening, and that'll set the stage for a pretty soggy Thursday night. So, hour by hour rain chances looking like this. Again, 2 peaks, 1 in the morning, 1 later in the day, and then kind of a lull, I think, around lunchtime. So that's the time of the day to get your outdoor plans in. If you have some outdoor plans on Thursday, midday will be the time to do it. All right, we got quite a bit of water heading our way for Thursday night and into the morning hours on Friday. Now, it may be kind of showery in nature for a lot of the night, but then the steadier batch of rain will likely pivot through as we go into the daylight hours on Friday. So plan on a soggy Friday morning. Friday afternoon, we're back to scattered showers, but the most consistent and intense rain will be early in the day, and then we'll squeeze in a cool but dry first half of the weekend on Saturday. Here's a look at our model spread for rainfall totals Thursday through Friday night. Sometimes the NAM doesn't want to play nice with this graphic. That is not correct. It is not forecasting 0 rain, but for whatever reason it appears graphically as 0 sometimes on this graphic. I'm not sure why that is. I haven't figured that out yet. But in the meantime, our other models are in pretty good agreement here. It's 1 inch to maybe 1.25 inches, perhaps up to 1.5 inches worth of rain. Most of this coming late Thursday night and heading into Friday morning. And it's a wet period that will unfold over the next 10 days or so. This is the next week's worth of rain on our computer models, showing an average of about 1.75 inches to 2 inches over the next 7 days. And then once we get beyond the next 7 days into the longer range, looks like a pretty active pattern for a lot of the U.S. Notice there's not a lot of dry areas shown on the 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook. So I think April is going to end and May is going to start on a pretty unsettled note with several rounds of rain. Hopefully we don't get too much and have to worry about some springtime flooding. One thing for sure, I do not see us slipping into any sort of springtime drought over the next few weeks. We're going to have plentiful moisture, it looks like, as we head into the heart of meteorological spring in the month of May. That's it for tonight's weather for Weather Geeks. Hope you have a great Wednesday night. I'll have an update on your forecast tonight on 21 News at 11. Get that forecast anytime. Storm Tracker 21 app.